unemployment, and then after that he started just relaxing and saying, well, I better do what's important to me. I better spend my day, I better give my day over to what's really inspiring and important to me, and not keep playing into the mesmerism of need and lack. You know, it's not really a life if you feel like you're treading water and you're just trying to keep your chin above the top of the water so you don't drown. That's very fearful, to keep flapping around in the water just to try to keep your chin above the water so you don't drown. That's not a motivation that will take you to who you really are. It's just a very fearful motivation. But that's, you know, through our lives and through the lives of those in our community, somewhere, somehow, someplace, they heard a call and they just said, I'm going for it. I really feel this. I trust I will be taken care of. I trust I am not having to provide for my own needs personally, but there is a presence that loves me so much and believes in me so much and believes in my holiness and knows my holiness so much that it will take me home. It will beam me up. It will take me in the tractor beam, and there will be nothing I can do to stop it once I give myself over to it. It's powerful.
Your knock has been heard. Enter the doorway, a multimedia online course for transcending fear, transforming relationships, accessing guidance, and experiencing more trust and inspiration in your life. To learn more, go to acimcourses.com.
It's very powerful, and it's very like the Spirit or Jesus is guiding us in a very, very specific and practical way. And I always feel like if Jesus can reach me, he can reach absolutely anyone, because I had no background whatsoever that even can open my mind up to Jesus. But somehow, you know, just one day, all of a sudden, you know, in my early 20s, I started to feel, who is Jesus? Maybe I want to know more, just out of the blue. And from that point on, just something started to open up. But it was not through a book, it was not through parents, it was through not through anything. Something just, when it's time, it started to reach. And I have just keep seeing it over and over again, that the Spirit reaches us in ways that we don't expect, and we don't have to even do anything. You know, at some point when I opened the course, Jesus said, your path is different. A holy relationship will be given you. And it took me a few years to realize he was really talking to me, like not a million other people, but very specifically to me, and I better listen. He said, a holy relationship will be given you. You, meaning you, specifically. And I am talking to you right now. So it's like there is attention that needs to be, you know, needs to be paid. And I just started to realize, wow, Spirit or Jesus is right by my side and give me very personal instructions along the way, who to meet, what to say, you know, what to eat even. Everything was very, very specific, but not really for any purpose, not for the purpose of maintaining the body, but it's all for the purpose of remembrance. Like the mind starts to remember more and more and more. So that's why I feel at this point, you know, it feels like a time of celebration, because it is a time of relaxation. Sitting here, I truly feel that how lucky, how grateful we are that we don't really need to do anything, because our holiness is already here and is guiding us all along, has been guiding us all along, and will continue to, very, very specifically. and there is no mistake, there is no messing up that is ever possible. So that's what I feel is truly what we're here to celebrate, the good news.
Yeah. I think you can also be ready to know that it's going to be quite funny when you start to give yourself over and say, all right, Spirit, you use the body. It's just going to be, you're just going to have some surreal funny moments where you just are smiling going, I can't even imagine this. Like I remember there was a point where Frances told me, well, I told my mom I was a minister, and her mom just burst into laughter that Frances was a minister. It would be like Frances saying, hi Mom, I'm purple now. I mean, imagine telling your parents that you're purple. You know, that's about how regular that was for your mom to hear, I'm a minister. It was so out of pattern. It was so unfathomable, because Frances comes from a family that, they were,
not just a family, but a whole country.
A whole country and family that were not into really religion or spirituality. You can't really say that for all of China, because there's some pretty deep non-dual teachers, but in your circles, for you to be a minister is like you turning purple one day and saying, I'm purple, Mom.
Yeah.
Okay. And for me it was a little bit different in the sense I was raised in a church and religious family and everything. But I was one of those that pretty much sat in the church and couldn't wait for the sermon to be over, and couldn't wait to get out of the church and get out into the sunshine. I wanted to get away from it. And then after years with the Course and letting the Holy Spirit speak through me, I found myself one time, I remember I was up in Lansing, Michigan, and I was invited to a church. I'd been going mainly to course groups and talking to people, but that church invitation, I remember I was just like, I heard my mouth opening saying, sure, and then I remember going to the church, and I was just smiling thinking, oh my God. And then I got there to the church service late, so the minister was still talking, and then the minister was up behind a pulpit, and then the minister went, oh, there's David. He's going to address us tonight. And I remember walking up the aisle towards this pulpit going, this is surreal. People talk about a walk-in. It's like the Holy Spirit's walking me up to a pulpit, to stand behind a pulpit in a church. And I was just laughing on the inside, going, okay, you got me. Because I had no idea what I would say. Everybody, the whole congregation waiting, I have no notes, I have nothing, and just there you go, walked right up, and then boom, the Holy Spirit gave the whole talk, and it was really funny. I enjoyed it. I think everybody enjoyed it too, but that's what I mean, it's involuntary. Frances came from a family and a city and a culture that had no inkling of anything to do with the Spirit. It was all about achievement and productivity and family and all those things. And for me, I didn't really aspire to go give a talk behind a pulpit. That's the last place I would have ever imagined myself, and yet it was like, oh, this is surreal. But I'm telling you this because this is what we're talking about this surrender. It's not like you just can keep twinkling your nose and saying, I am not a body, I am not a body, I am not a body. You can't do that for hundreds of hours and expect that that's going to achieve the goal. It's more that you have to be in that total surrender and just say, okay, I believe that I'm looking at a world of time and space, but you're telling me that actually this isn't the fact of the matter. And I'm going to have to be guided, I'm going to have to let go of this faulty perception of reality, of this fixed belief in limitation, in lack, in competition, in comparison. I'm going to have to let go of the fixed belief in these crazy ideas, crazy concepts, and And to do that, I'm going to have to allow myself to be used. If this body, for example, is a puppet, I'm going to have to give over the strings. That was my friend Resta, that was her prayer all the time. She always heard me using that marionette metaphor over and over, until finally one day, when she was going through some struggles, she just said, Holy Spirit, put me back on the strings. Like, I do not want to be in charge. I'm tired of playing Pinocchio. I'm tired of trying to be a real human being. I want to get back on the strings, and that's what I mean by giving yourself over to your calling. You already know deep down what this calling is. You already have something in your heart that's swirling in there. There's something inside that's swirling and it's going, oh, that would be really fun and joyful. And then of course this other voice, the voice of the ego, is going to try to drown that out, and oh, don't be ridiculous. Have you lost your mind? Be practical. It's going to go on and on and on to try to shut that off. But we're saying, go for it. Make this year different by making it all the same. Making it all the same by not emphasizing certain days as holidays. Okay, Christmas, Easter, birthdays, all right. It's, at first we're happy to have something to celebrate. That's why we celebrate birthdays, right? It's pretty dark and dismal in this I've got to meet my Meadsville universe. It's pretty dark, so it's good to celebrate some things. So we have some holidays and some special days and events to celebrate. Even with Helen Schuckman, Jesus would say, it's okay that you take a vacation from work. Jesus would tell, because Helen was almost like a workaholic. She was a research psychologist, and she was working up there at Columbia Presbyterian Medical Center, and Jesus would say he would reach her right where her mind believed it was, which was in a stressful career. And Jesus comes in like a ray of light through that thick belief system and says, it's okay to take a vacation. It's okay to take time off of work and give yourself a vacation. That's where it starts. It starts with something where you feel like you're going to be gentle with yourself, you're going to be good to yourself, you're going to relax, you're going to take it easy on yourself. And then as this heart starts to crack open, and you get more into your function, and miraculously all your needs are met, not in I have to meet my own needsville, but miraculously, wow, I didn't see that one coming. Well, thank you for this. Thank you, JP. Gets money coming into his account when he's not working.
Right.
That's how the Spirit gets your attention. And then it starts to open up, and you start to build a momentum. Like, okay, I'm the light of the world. So if I'm the light of the world, I guess whatever I need will be provided for me to do my light of the world gig. So for a time, because it really isn't a gig, it's actually a reality. It's a state of eternity. But it starts off as a gig. Because you believe in time and space, you need a few gigs. So that's the way that it works.
You are listening to Awakening to True Happiness with Mystic David Hoffmeister. To learn more about David Hoffmeister and the Living Miracles community, visit livingmiracles.org. Also check out The Movie Watcher's Guide to Enlightenment at mwge.org.
You may be surprised when this thing starts to come through you. I know for me, I guess there came a point, I always enjoyed music, but I never really gave myself hours a day to listen to music until I did. I did. I just let the music, I put my headphones on, or I'd crank it up, and I would just let my heart swell and open up and let the music take me. And And then it was the same with movies, I mean, I enjoyed a movie occasionally, a movie here or there, but I never